Hey you, it's Reese, and we are back with another word. This is a song word, a lyrical word. I suffer from insomnia, and I have sleeping pills that have been, doing me fairly well. But last night they weren't working. They weren't working for me, and I had a hard time going back to sleep after I had gotten up. And God put this song on my mind, and I was like, okay, all right, well, I'm assuming this is a word you want me to put out because I was already aware of, this person and, what comes out of their mouth. So this must be a word that you're wanting me to release. So the song he gave me is Lies, Lies by In Vogue. So when the song popped up in my head, I was like, what? Like, I don't even listen to Vogue. Not that they're a bad group. It's just, I really don't listen to anything right now other than Christian music. I listen to oldies and stuff sometimes, but I'm trying to keep my mind extremely focused because I know Satan is just, he's ready to pounce any moment notice he can get. Okay, so I'm going to go over the lyrics with you. And as God has already gave me interpretation of some of the lyrics, so just pray that he flows through this video and that it is confirmation for whoever it is intended for. Take it back with your take it to your father. Make sure this is a word for you. But yes, so this is lies, and this is regarding your kingdom spouse. Some of you may know that your kingdom spouse isn't being that honest with you. And for some reason, I really just feel like this might also be a word or is a word for the counterfeit. Who your kingdom spouse is currently dating or are talking to, or if there's multiple of them, it's not just us that our kingdom spouse is being not fully truthful with. He or she is telling lies to the counterfeit too. And it could be that, they're not being completely honest about how they still feel about us. Maybe because they don't want to come to terms with how they still feel about us. Especially if your kingdom spouse feels that you betrayed him or her. Or it could be, a situation happened, you did something, I did something, out of the kindness of my heart or out of the kindness of your heart. And the way they told the situation to, the counterfeit is kind of more so like well, yeah, I told them, they needed to do this or they better do this or else, type of thing. Like they're not giving accurate and truthful stories, not just to us, but to, if your kingdom spouse is dating, to the counterfeit. But yeah, I just kind of feel like this is a word for the counterfeit too, or maybe solely for, because like I said, I already knew and know that my kingdom spouse lies. I know a good portion of his lies. But, it's not up to me to call him out and stuff. God didn't call me to call him out on his stuff. God's going to take care of it. So, but the name of this video, the title of this video is Lies Exposed. And a couple of the lyrics or verses on here will let you know God is, as I said in my video, it is time. God's starting to work on them. So not only is God revealing things to them and exposing things to them about us and who we really are, and for them to stop feeling the way they feel about us because their thoughts about us is not accurate. We did not portray them. We did not, try to cause them pain and hurt and all this other stuff. Excuse me. But God is exposing who we really are, and that we are their wife or their husband, kingdom wife, kingdom husband. But God is also pruning them too. So When God said it is time, he meant it, I'm about to start working on them. And that includes if your kingdom spouse is a habitual liar, they just lie off the top of their head. They don't even put thoughts into what they're saying. It just kind of spews out of their mouth. God's working on that. Or if they're just, lie out of habit, they don't want to get caught up. So they just lie and, they know that they're lying. They just, they're not trying to get caught up. God's working on that. And with some of these kingdom spouses, I do believe that they are trying to gaslight some of you, or me, or their counterfeit, and making you think that, the thoughts that you're having, that, you're crazy for even thinking them in the first place, when the fact of the matter is, no, you're lying. They're lying. So this is confirmation to whoever that they are lying. But God's about to expose them. God is either going to use someone else to expose them, but eventually they will come and complete the rest of it. They will come because God's going to put such a conviction on them. They're not going to have any other choice but to come forth with the truth and the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help them, God. So they're going to come forth, but God might be using somebody to expose them first. I don't think they're going to do it themselves. Some may do it themselves, but some may get exposed by someone else. And then, their whole world may or may not fall apart. And then God's working on them. God is doing what he's going to do to work on them. And lying is one of the things God is going to work on. And God is going to expose the lying that they've been doing. Okay? So let me get into the lyrics really quick because I've talked long enough. All right, so lies, using lies as alibis. Lies, just a devil in disguise. And I mean, it's not funny, but I used to call him, he is being used by Satan. But before I knew he was being used by Satan, I'd be like, you're just evil. Like, you're the devil. Like, there's something wrong with you. You got some demons all up in you. Okay, so they are being used. Some of them are being used. Actually, I can't really think of any that aren't really being used by the devil. Actually, no. Some may not being used by the devil. They're just kind of lost and not ready to come back to their Father. But some are. They left a lot of gates and doors open, so Satan had very, very easy access to them. So Satan is using them, and then some of it is them. But again, God's starting his work. God is starting his work. So you should see some changes. You should see some changes because God is starting to be like, okay, come on now. All right. It's the same game. So it's the same game. Your kingdom spouse has been doing this for a minute. It's nothing new to you. It's a counterfeit that they knew before. It's nothing new to them either. You and them, whoever, should be aware that lying is not a new thing for your kingdom spouse. This has been an issue that they've had and that you've been having with them since, kind of pretty much since the beginning you guys started talking. Played in many ways. So they lie in many ways. They lie about many different things. They're playing games. Everyone is the victim too. Everyone's the victim. It's just a waste of time made for simple minds. So why do people insist on lies? So it's basically just saying everyone's a victim to their lies. They don't hold back really for nobody. If they feel they need to lie to you, then they will lie to you to save face or cover up what they're doing or what their thoughts or feelings or actions really are. It don't matter who you are, you can get lied to too. And it's just kind of like, why do people lie? What's the purpose? What's the reason? Like, just tell the truth, get it over with. Like, I'll live my life a different way. Refuse to let myself become a victim, getting caught up in a vicious web of lies. So this is basically kind of us saying, I'm living my life a different way. I'm not about to get caught up in your web of lies again. And I'm not about to turn into a liar myself either. Even if you want to continue to lie, if you want to lie and, continue to play, these games and stuff, that's on you. I'm just tell my father, I'm going to tell on you. And my daddy, our daddy, is going to get you because I'm not about to play these games with you. Like, I'm not about to do it. And there's been a few times where my kingdom spouse has tried to, I guess, reroute or redirect my thoughts about him lying about something. And I just said, okay. And I don't know if he believed that I believed him or not. I don't care. But I just said, okay. Like, I didn't go into it. I knew he was lying. I was just like, all right. Like, God's got it. I'm not about to deal with all this. Like, I don't have time. I got too much stuff to do to be worried about how I'm going to get you caught up in your lies. Like, no, God got it. Lies, they can hurt you. Lies and destroy you. Using lies as alibis. Watch out for lies. Lies, lies, lies. Just a devil in disguise. Just a devil in disguise. Lies, they can hurt you. They can hurt the people that you're lying to, but they can also hurt the liar. Lies and destroy you. Lies can literally destroy your life. You can destroy someone else's life and it can destroy your own life. So that's why I'm like, just don't lie. The nation's leaders, as well as teachers, practice lies as a way of life. Yes, they do. So think before you speak, because what you sow, you reap. The truth will always be brought to light. So this is where I was saying God's about to expose, their lies, what they've been lying about and the games and stuff they're playing. There's a lot of people that lie, but you're a child of God. Don't do that, because God will make sure that your lies and what you do in the dark is brought to the light, even if he's allowed it for a minute. And God has been allowing, these lies to come out of their mouths and stuff. And, and I think that's why we were kind of just meant to sit back and just, let God handle it. Because the old me would have been like, oh, no, you lying. Like, you are for real lying. And I'm a good debater. So I would have debated him down to the point where, you still might not admit that you're lying. But just so you know, I know for a fact that you're lying. But again, I didn't do all that because I'm like, my daddy got it. Like, I don't have to do all that anymore. Like, I'm good. I'm not wasting energy on none of that. This will be the last time, though. This, what God's working and pulling out of them and stuff, you're not gonna have to worry about lies anymore. They're gonna think well before they let lies come out of their mouth so easily. They are going to think twice, double time, triple time, quadruple time. They're going to think before they lie to you again. And this is for us, the kingdom spouse. Our kingdom spouses, they're like, yeah, no, I'm not about to lie to her. I'm not about to lie to him. God's covering us all over them. Like, I'm not even going to attempt. I'm not even going to think. As soon as the lie pops in my head, I'm going to be like, ooh, no, rebuke you. I'm not going down this road again. Like, my kingdom spouses. So it's going to be, they're not going to have this issue anymore. They're going to think long and hard before they let a lie come out of their mouth again. Because as it says, because what you sow, you reap. The truth will always be brought to light. God is like, I'm bringing it to light. And what you sow, you will reap. You're not getting away with all the lies that you've been saying. Will we ever learn one day that telling lies will always lead to madness, misery, and sometimes pain? So God is just saying, with your lies, with our kingdom spouse, with your lies, you have caused your kingdom spouse, us, a lot of pain and misery. And you are causing other people pain and misery. Yes, hurt people, but it's not okay. It's not okay. Especially if your kingdom spouse has been told multiple times before, you might need some help. You might need to get some counseling or something like that. Once you know you're hurting, go get some help. Take it to God. God, I need a spiritual, a spiritually led counselor to help me through some of these trauma issues and whatever other issues that I have. It's not okay to hurt people just because you're hurting. Like, it's not okay. And God's not going to let you get away with it. God's like, no, You can't do that to my children. You cannot do that. So your lying days, they're coming very close to an end. You're not going to continue to lie. So, and that's why I said in my other video, he's angry or she's angry, pray for your kingdom spouse. God is about to do a work, and it's going to be a fairly quick work. So their heads might spin because God is moving fast with them. Because God's like, I've given you enough time. Let's get to work. Let's get to work. If I got you, some of you know, if you don't follow God's lead in the time that he's allotted you, which is plenty because he's so patient with us, God will be like, okay, I see you need a little nudge. All right, no problem. I can give you a nudge. I don't want to because I love you, but I will. And God's nudges I don't like his nudges. So I try my best not to get none of his nudges. Because, some of his nudges don't feel good. So like my sister said, I don't want that smoke. I don't want no smoke. All right. Lies, using lies as alibis. Lies, oh lies, just the devil in disguise. And it's made for simple minds. Lies, yeah. Lies, using lies as alibis. Lies and deceit. Yes, it's running real rampant. Community suffering. Yo, I can't stand it. When we think of lies, we tend to think of politicians. But what about the husband who's on a mission, lying to his wife so he can get it on and get some, coming back home with a dumb expression written on a face that's guilty as a criminal? It's time to change your attitude. People, do you hear me though? I doubt I have to explain any of what I just read right there. Like, I seriously doubt I have to explain any of that. Yeah, I'm not going to explain any of that. They basically just said everything. Like, you're lying about cheating. You're lying about, if you're talking to people, you're lying about, and some of the stuff our kingdom spouses are lying about, they don't even have to lie about. It's like, dude, why are you lying about that? Like, you didn't even have to lie about that. But yeah, so I'm not even going to explain that because it is what it said. Listen to a funky rhyme. That's kicking knowledge that we need. We lie about our hair and we know we gotta weave. Politicians lie about the thing. Oh, see, like I just said, you lying about stuff you don't even have to lie about. People know that ain't your real hair. That's a weave, and that's fine. But why lie about it? I just said that. Lying about stuff you don't even have to lie about. Politicians lie about the things they're gonna do, and every lie they tell affects me and you. A smoker lies about the money that he stole, and a dope dealer never tells you how he got his gold. I guess what Debbie T is really trying to say, when you break it all down, we're really all the same. Meaning we are all liars. Thank you, John. Thank you, Holy Spirit. We are all liars. So God isn't telling us that their lies are about to be exposed so we can be like, oh, you about to get exposed and, God's about to whip your butt. Don't do that. God's going to be like, I can come right back around and whip you too. God's just letting us know, I'm handling this situation. Don't worry about it. Or for those of you that don't know that your kingdom spouse is lying, or if this message is for a counterfeit that you don't know that him or her, that they're lying, this is confirmation that you know they're lying, okay? But we are all human. We are all imperfect. All of us, every single one of us, even at times that, my head can kind of float above the clouds. Sometimes God will knock me right back down, like, You was trifling too, and you still trifling in some ways, so don't. So that was basically just to say, when you break it all down, we're really all the same. We're all the same. This is just something that they deal with that probably most of us don't deal with. But I have my own sins that God has to deal with me on, that my kingdom spouse doesn't have issues with. You know what I mean? So that part was just to say, don't try to point no finger in the face. Don't try to come at them crazy. Don't try to look at them and be like, oh, you getting in trouble. Don't do none of that. God is handling it. Pray for them. Pray for them. And pray that, pray that they don't need as much affliction as, God is prepared to give, because, they surrender, they submit and surrender themselves to God. So they don't, get their butt whooped too bad. But for a lot of our kingdom spouses, they're going to get their butt whooped. And that's just what it is. That's why God said it is time. It's time. He's about to start working on them. And some of the changes you're going to start seeing. And then some, God's going to have to really snatch some things out of them, which it won't, it won't be too pretty. We know I done had some stuff snatched from me and it don't feel good. I already said that. Anyway, I live my life a different way, refuse to let myself become a victim, caught up in a vicious web of lies. I'm not a victim. I hope you're not a victim. If you are a victim, God's telling you, don't be a victim because they're lying. And don't you turn into a liar just because they're lying to you. You don't have to do that. I'm taking care of this. I could easily turn around and start lying to him about some stuff because I know for a fact he's lying to me. But for what? For what? That's not me. Not about to do all that. All right. Same thing. Lies, using lies as alibis. Lies, you're lying. Lies, stop cheating. Just the devil in disguise. Lies. Oh yeah, they'll ruin your life. Lies, you better think twice. Lies, just a devil in disguise. Stop hurting, deceiving, and telling your lies. Oh, lies, using lies as alibis. Just a devil in disguise. Oh, lies, evil little lies. Using lies as alibis. Lies, just a devil in disguise. And that's it. I did not know this video was going to be this long. But yeah, this in part, I didn't even read this in part until right now. So I don't know, the feeling in my spirit that this word is for, the counterfeit, whoever they're dating. I don't know. I just feel like it's for them. Because yeah, your life could be ruined because they're not supposed to be with you. They should be single and letting God work on them like God is working on us, because that's why God called for this divine separation. And so that God could work on the both of us, to reunite us and bring us back together. This is for people that have already been with their kingdom spouse. God's intentions through this divine separation is to work on the both of us. But a lot of our kingdom spouses weren't ready to get worked on. They didn't want to face certain things. They didn't want to come to terms with certain things. They didn't want to feel the pain we had to feel. Like, Lord Jesus, that pain right there. Ugh. Only by the grace of God did I get through some of the stuff I got through this year. Yeah, I don't know. I feel it in my spirit that this is for the counterfeit. You better think twice. They'll ruin your life. Stop hurting, deceiving, and this is for the counterfeit. Stop hurting, deceiving, and telling your lies. Yeah, so I don't know. Again, take it to God. See if this word is for you. If you're confused about it, this is for kingdom marriages, or kingdom spouses that have already been with their no, this is for either. Whether you've been with your kingdom spouse or you know them, you have to know them. If you don't know your kingdom spouse yet, this word isn't for you. But if you know your kingdom spouse and or you've already been with your kingdom spouse, this word is possibly for you. Take it to God. And again, in my spirit, I feel like it's for the counterfeit who they are currently talking to. But okay. Yeah, that's all I got for you on this word. Again, sorry it was so long. I pray that it gives you edification, clarification, confirmation. Don't let it get you down. Don't let it get you down. God is working on them. And we've been hurting enough. That's why God said to move. It's time to move for some of y'all. Get to doing what I've told you to do. Let me handle this situation over here. Don't stop worrying about it. So yeah, all right. I hope you guys have a great day. If this did hit you kind of hard, I'm sorry. I pray for you. I pray for your heart. I pray that God holds your heart during this whole process. Continue to hold on. Continue to hold on to God's promise. Continue to pray for your kingdom spouse, because God's gonna be working on them. Okay. So until next time, remember, God loved you then. No matter what you did back then, He loves you now, even if you're lying and all that stuff now. No matter what you're doing, God loves you right now. And in the future, whatever you do in the future, God's still gonna love you. So don't forget that. And He calls you righteous. So stay righteous. He's calling you to righteousness. So you're gonna stop lying. All right. That's it. I'm out. Bye.